Well, ahoy, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my second Q&A. The first one got a bit spicy, down a few IPAs. This one, we're going to keep it sober. We're going to keep it clean. I'm just kidding, of course. This is going to be another spicy Q&A. Anyway, a few things before we jump into the Q&A. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who watches the YouTube videos and supports my work. It was my goal when first starting my film photography journey on YouTube to create a community. It's really the whole goal with this YouTube channel anyway, is to just kind of form a community of people that all share the same passion in life and just have the same energy and creative spirit and love filmmaking, photos, videos, all that jazz. Not just have an audience, not just have, people that come on the channel and watch a video and then just dip and that's that. I wanted to create a community where everybody kind of felt involved, like a tight-knit kind of family of various film photographers and people that are interested in photography. And I over the past year, a little over a year that I've been doing this, I can see it come to fruition, and that's incredibly cool. And that wouldn't be possible without everybody that's actively engaging and participating in all of the different events and things happening within the film photography community. So thank you to all of you guys. As a way of kind of showing my appreciation and saying thanks, I'm giving away this Canon AE-1. I bought this camera with my own money. I'm giving it away on my own. This isn't a partnership or collaboration with anybody else. This is a 35mm film camera with a 50mm f2 lens, and it works great. Somebody's gonna take home this camera, and that's going on over on my Instagram. You can head over there right now. There's a post live. All you have to do, like, comment. You don't have to tag anybody in the comments. You don't have to repost it on your story or anything like that. I want it to go to somebody in the community, and when you get all these random people just kind of sharing it everywhere, it's easy for somebody to see, oh, a free thing, I'm going to go in and enter that, and then all of a sudden somebody wins that doesn't even care about film photography. So want to keep it as tight-knit as possible and just have it go to somebody in the community, hopefully. So that's going on over my Instagram. You can head over there and just leave a comment. You can say anything. The first time I did this, I said type a period. You can comment a period if you want to. You can type a period, and that'll enter you into the giveaway to win this Canon AE-1 with a 50mm lens. So head over there, check that out, and yeah, thanks again, guys, for showing so much support and love on my journey this past year. All right, second order of business. Mark your calendars. August 7th, gonna try something new, and that's a community hike day. I want to throw the invite out to anyone who wants to come out to Washington State on August 7th and do a little hike with me and whoever else joins. I'm thinking Lake Ingalls or Lake Valhalla, something like that. It'll be chill. It'll be a day where we can all just gather, chat it up, explore the outdoors, and enjoy each other's company. So keep an eye out on my Instagram and future YouTube videos where I'll be posting more information about that and all the specifics. Might make a little group event page thing on Facebook, although I don't have Facebook anymore, so we'll figure something out. But we'll get it all dialed in for anybody that's interested in coming, figure out carpool, whatever. If you want to fly in to Washington State for the hike, you can do that. I don't care. Anybody's welcome to come. So, yeah, keep an eye out for announcements regarding that. But August 7th, going to do a little hike and, yeah, just get outside, meet each other, and talk film photography. And the third and final matter of business is Speedy Photo. They're still doing the 10% off discount for all you guys. All the information on how to receive the discount is in the description below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Q&A time. Now, this whole Q&A came about because not too long ago, I bought a Mamiya 7. And then shortly after I bought the Mamiya 7, I sold the Mamiya 7. And a lot of people were wondering why I sold the Mamiya 7. So I thought I'd just turn it into a big Q&A video, and I went to Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me questions, and you did, and so now I'm here to answer them. But let's jump to the first and most prominent question. The Mamiya 7, why'd you sell it? Why'd you go to the Pentax 672? Ladies and gentlemen, here's my thoughts on the Mamiya 7. First of all, the Mamiya 7 is a fantastic camera. It probably had the best ergonomics out of any film camera I've ever used. It's lightweight, it's unobtrusive. The grip on the right-hand side really makes it feel like more of a 35mm camera than it does a medium format camera. And it's perfect for travel, landscape. You guys know what the Mamiya 7 is good for, and I do all of those things, so I figured I could justify the hefty price tag. I knew going into it that I was more of an SLR guy. I've always preferred the SLRs to rangefinders, but I figured that all of the pros of the Mamiya 7 would outweigh the fact that it was a rangefinder. However, after putting about 10 rolls through the camera, I really just was not getting adjusted to the rangefinder on the Mamiya 7. I didn't like the lack of confidence that I had while shooting and composing. I'm a very methodical person when it comes to my compositions. I take a lot of time just framing up things exactly the way that I want them to look. And when the Mamiya 7 just doesn't offer you that level of accuracy, I just didn't find it to be the best shooting experience for me when comparing it to what I had with the Pentax 6x7. So, given the fact that the Mamiya is such an expensive system, I couldn't justify keeping it because I wasn't 100% sold on the rangefinder aspect of the camera. Now, if it was a $1,500 camera or a $1,000 camera, then I'd absolutely have one sitting right beside my Pentax 672, because I think they serve very different purposes. I think the Mamiya 7 is far superior for travel and hiking photography. However, I lug my Pentax 672 with me when I'm hiking because I am willing to sacrifice the weight for that level of accuracy that I get with the Pentax 672. But I'd love to have a Mamiya 7 just to kind of shoot everyday stuff with, bring it with me when I'm hanging out with Alicia or walking around the town or whatever, because it's as George Munsey said in his Mamiya 7 review, it's so unobtrusive you just don't even feel like it's there. It's perfect to just pick up, throw over your shoulder, forget about, and then when you see an opportunity to take a picture, it's there, ready to go. The Pentax, it's a big system, it's a hefty system. You don't really just pick that thing up and just bring it with you wherever you go, and it's some unobtrusive thing that is real, a real breeze to take pictures with all the time. But for me and what I shoot with the Pentax 6.7, it justified me, first of all, spending the extra money on the Pentax 6.7 II, and second of all, just like I said, sacrificing the lighter weight and the more ergonomically friendly camera for one that is a bit more accurate and has a little bit more bells and whistles on it, and that is the Pentax 6.7 II. The other thing about the Mamiya that kind of threw me off, going into it, I had heard how amazing the Mamiya 7 glass was. It's some of the best optics ever created for any camera system. And that was the case. And in fact, it was so much the case that I actually found the pictures looking more like digital images than I did film pictures. The pictures were so sharp, especially with color film. For whatever reason, I just wasn't really digging the rendition of the frames, and that's probably just a weird personal preference of mine, but I actually like the imperfections, the softness that kind of generally comes with film. And the Mamiya 7 glass is so damn good that I just really wasn't digging it for whatever weird reason that is. But the Mamiya 7 is a fantastic camera, and I'd say honestly, if you do a lot of hiking, if you do a lot of just daily documentation, and you want to document your daily life or travel work on on medium format and get that bigger negative, and you have a bunch of money flowing out of your wallet and more money than you know what to do with, I'd absolutely pick one up. But if you're on a budget, which I think most of us are, I would just really make sure that you're down with the rangefinder system and you know what you're getting into. I thought I could adjust to the rangefinder system, and I just couldn't find myself doing it. So went back to the Pentax. I'm more than happy. Gonna be keeping that system for sure because I love the 6.7 II, and the additional upgrades on the 6.7 II I think are underappreciated. They're really, really good. Everything from the brighter viewfinder to the small intricate details on the camera itself, and the built-in right-hand grip, of course. It's all amazing. So Pentax 6.7 II for me, that's going to be my workhorse. That's going to be the camera that I bring with me 90% of the time I'm going out to take pictures. But I just moved my arm around a lot, I feel like, so I'm probably going to move on from this question. But hopefully that gives you a good synopsis of why I ended up with the Pentax, back with the Pentax as opposed to keeping the Mamiya 7. Biggest inspirations for your style. When I first started shooting film, I tried to make it a goal of mine to not go around and look at a bunch of other people's work And that might sound bad because I love supporting other people that are, you know, into film photography and through their photographic journeys. But with every other phase that I've kind of went through in life, especially when I was really into video and kind of doing the whole vlogging thing, all I did was watch other people's work, and that really affected my own work. And I feel like I wasn't making authentic videos because of that, because I had all these other people that were making videos in my head and their work in my mind when I went out to shoot my own videos, that I really was looking at the way that I created things through a filter. And it wasn't through my own two eyes and what my own imagination could dream up. So when I got into film, I wanted to try to go about it just by myself, you know, explore things that I wanted to shoot and figure out where I really felt at home within film photography. Now, of course, the first few months when I started shooting film, I was definitely kind of more into the just classic film photography compositions and scenes that you typically expect people to shoot, you know, all the cliches, the vintage cars, the old buildings, all that jazz, just because I thought that, oh, that's what you shoot on film. But then as I got more comfortable with it, I realized, you know what, I can take this out on hikes with me and I can shoot what I love to shoot, which is the outdoors and my travels and a little bit of portraiture as well. So yeah, you know, I'm going about it just looking at it through my own two eyes. And I think this is I don't want this to sound narcissistic, but I think I'm just trying to have myself be my own inspiration with film photography. Why don't you shoot 35mm as much as medium format? I think it just is because I shoot a lot of outdoor landscape photography. I find that 24 or 36 exposures is just too much for me sometimes. I really like limiting myself. I like having 10 or 12 images to work with per roll. And when shooting those landscapes and the outdoor stuff, I really like having that bigger negative to work with, the additional dynamic range, because a lot of the time I'm shooting in uncontrollable lighting situations. So just working with everything that medium format has to offer is better for the type of images and the type of photography that I do. Will there be a third gallery? Yes, probably before this summer is over, as a matter of fact. How long do you think film will stick around? I think it'll stick around well through our lifetime. I think that there might be a drastic change to it if the popularity stays as high as it is. I think somebody will find a way to make it less environmentally impactful in a negative way, because I think that's the biggest factor, one of the biggest factors that'll hinder the continuation of film. Favorite ice cream flavor? I like all the mountain berry flavors, the blackberry, huckleberry, strawberry, especially from like a small little local ice cream shop. That's tough to beat. Do you think 4x5 is something you'll commit to? I kind of answered this in the 4x5, the large format video I made, but it's not something that I'm going to shoot all the time. I'm going to shoot it very rarely. Whenever I'm out shooting the Pentax or just out and about and I see a frame that might be really nice on the 4x5 camera, then I'll bring it out. I'll take that image. But otherwise, it's too expensive, and I really like the process of medium format. If you could create your own camera with aspects from others, what would it look like? I would literally take everything, all the internals and all the bells and whistles of the Pentax 672 and put them inside a Mamiya 7 body. Why is the Bronica SQ the best damn camera ever? It's a great question. I can't really pinpoint the specifics, but if I had to, I think I'd say, one, the light meter on the built-in on the chimney finder, the built-in light meter on the chimney finder. It's so freaking accurate. It's unbelievable. It nails the scene every time. Second, the rendition of the 65mm lens is about as beautiful and about as perfect as I could ever want when it comes to optics for a film camera. It's got a beautiful softness to it. The colors are so vibrant. It's really tough to beat that setup. Got a few film stock questions. What's one that's underrated? What's one you never get tired of using? And how do you feel about Ektar? Underrated, I'm going to say Cinestill 50D. I guess you could say Cinestill's overhyped, but I think it's more 800T that's overhyped. 50D is a beautiful film stock. One of my favorites. I really should be shooting it more. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper. Now, as far as one that I never get tired of using, got to go with Portra 800. It's versatile. It's high speed. I love the grain. I love the color rendition. And how do I feel about Ektar? Ektar could fall into the underrated category. That film stock is absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty affordable. And yeah, I just wish they made it in a 400 speed. but then I guess the grain wouldn't be as fine, but whatever. It's a fantastic film stock. What's your worst film experience? I haven't had too many terrible experiences while actually out in the field shooting. However, I had a pretty funny and unfortunate situation happened to me via the old Instagram not too long ago. I'm sure many of you, pretty much all of you, are probably familiar with the iconic duo of Joe and Maddie Greer. Well, Maddie posted a photo of her with the Pentax 6.7 on her Instagram a few months ago, and me being the jackass that I am, thinking I'm hilarious, and knowing that I basically have a meme around me, surrounding me, about my mirror lockup hiccups that I had with my original Pentax 6x7, I decided it'd be pretty funny to post a little sarcastic joke about my MLU failures via a comment on that post by Maddie. And I commented something like, if you need help with the MLU, let me know. Amongst the community and amongst, the people that follow my work, pretty much everybody knows about my struggles with MLU. Well, Joe and Maddie did not, because why would they? And yeah, if you read that out of context without knowing that I'm being sarcastic and just my history with the MLU, it kind of sounds like I'm being slightly demeaning. And Joe came in hot with the defense for his wife, which is justified. And I didn't see this until a few weeks later, and I saw it and realized that, oh shit, they probably don't know that I have a meme about MLU surrounding my photography. And so I shot them a DM explaining the situation, and everything was cool afterwards. But yeah, that's the classic case of miscommunication and how things can appear when you're not talking to somebody in person. So that was funny and also unfortunate. So yeah, be careful out there online, folks. Can you take me through the process of your compositions? Honestly, I don't think I could if I tried. I think every photographer kind of has that photographic eye, and I just know, or think I know, a good composition when I see one. I'm not trying to be full of myself at all. I see something, I know how I want to frame it up, because I think that'll make for a good image when it's all said and done. And I think certain photographers are a lot better at explaining that process and dissecting the reasons why an image is a good image. I'm just not one of those photographers, so I'm probably not the best person to ask that question to. Your cinematography is always top notch. What are some movies you get inspired by? I really like the gritty drama, Western-esque type movies. No Country for Old Men, Hell or High Water, The Hateful Eight, True Detective, even though it's a TV show, The Old Man and the Gun. Those are all some of my favorites. I'd also highly recommend heading over to film-grab.com. It's a website you can pretty much type any movie into, and they'll give you frame grabs, screenshots from the movie, so you can kind of dissect it frame by frame, look at the general aesthetic of that movie and how the cinematography was done. It's really, really cool. Which focal length do you not leave the house without? Anywhere from like a 40 to 50, I think my ideal focal length would probably be like a 45 millimeter. What things did you struggle with when getting into film? As I kind of mentioned earlier, just feeling like I had to shoot what everyone else was shooting. It took a while before I felt comfortable shooting what actually interested me. And then once I did, I found myself just much happier and really looking forward to going out and shoot much more. What have been your favorite photography hikes, and how do I find new non-touristy trails? My favorite photography hike was probably Lake Ingalls. I did it last year, made a video about it. Absolutely blew my mind. Fantastic hike. I use All Trails to find new hikes. It's a great app. It's free. As far as non-touristy trails go, it's tough to find non-touristy trails, and I think that's okay. A lot of people kind of might get the impression that I'm out there completely alone all the time, when in reality there's just, usually at least a few other people on the trail that day. And that's cool with me. I mean, I think it's super hypocritical if you go out there and you get pissed when other people are on the trail. It's like, dude, you're literally on the trail. I don't see how you can get mad at other people for doing exactly what you are doing. Makes no sense. And it's also great to just see more people getting outside and exploring the outdoors. I'm a huge advocate for as many people getting outside as possible. It just does suck when, the trailhead's super crowded in one day, but that's something you just gotta deal with. As long as you're going out with the right intentions and respecting the trail and respecting other people and respecting the outdoors, That's cool with me. How do you plan a shooting trip? What do you look for? Well, general trips, when I'm not going out on a hike or anything like that, I just start kind of driving. I pick a general area on a map and I just kind of start heading that direction, and I just, wherever my mind takes me, if I think I should take a left on this road, I'll take a left on that road. If I think I should take a right here, I'll take a right there. I just kind of go out and explore, see what I see and find what I find. But as far as hikes go, I do plan that more methodically. I kind of will pick a hike that may look cool, check out some pictures, see if there's some good vantage points, and just make sure the weather lines up, and then I'm good to go. Do you see a future where camera prices come back to earth? Man, it's really hard to believe that they'll continue to go up. I mean, talked about the Mamiya 7 price. That thing is ridiculously overpriced right now, in my opinion, at least, and that's the case with a lot of other cameras. So I don't know. It's great that other people are getting into film. It's what's keeping it alive, but at the same time, damn, these prices, they do be rough. They do be rough. Blue cheese or ranch? Okay, funny story. Was eating Buffalo Wild Wings the other day. My buddy, he got some blue cheese. I got ranch. Somehow we swapped sauces, and when I dipped my wing in the sauce, it was blue cheese. I thought it was ranch. I took a bite, and I swear, I looked at him and I go, holy shit, I think they gave me expired ranch. Like, it tasted so bad. And so that should answer your question. Ranch all the way. How would you survive living somewhere without so many cool things to photograph? Honestly, I'd just take a lot more portraits. Something I should probably do anyway. Favorite focal length for portraits? Probably have to go 50 mil. It's not too tight. You can still get a good amount of the background in your frame. I like the environmental-esque portraits, but it's still tight enough to get that good, nice detail and a solid amount of compression. Got a few questions about travels. Are you going to Iceland anytime soon? The US South or any other places? Iceland next summer potentially. Alicia and I kind of got a little Europe trip in the works potentially for next summer. Keep an eye out for that, because I want to meet up with like as many people as I can in Europe. There's been a lot of people that have been asking me to get over there, so keep an eye out. Next summer, it very well may happen. As far as the US South goes, another place I'd love to check out. Seems very interesting. I've never been down there, and I think there's a lot of culture to explore. So yes, I could even see myself taking a little, a few weekend trips down there, because I got 3-day weekends, so I could bounce down there to different cities for a few weekends. That might be kind of fun. So yeah, I could definitely see myself doing that. And then any other places, I want to get everywhere eventually. If you name a place, I'm probably down to go there, unless it's like an active war zone. I might still be down to go and take some photos though. What would be your ideal photo trip? Probably a huge road trip through Europe, exploring all of the kind of smaller, off the radar little towns and places. My dad told me so many stories of when him and my mom traveled through Europe and would just get off the train at a random train station in the evening and walk down a little cobblestone street, find a nice little cafe to grab a bite to eat. Man, if I could have any kind of journey like the one they had when they traveled Europe, that would be all I could ever ask for. One camera, one lens, and one film stock for the rest of your life. What would it be and why? Bronica SQ, 65mm lens, Portrait 800. Talked about it earlier, the Bronica SQ, it's tough to beat. It's also my first ever film camera. It's the one that my dad gifted to me, so it's got some sentimental value. But all the images that I take on that thing somehow never cease to blow me away. And Portrait 800, talked about it earlier too. Versatile, soft, colors are beautiful. The grain, that'd be my go-to setup. Tips on how to make money with film photography. I don't know, because I don't really make any. If I had a recommendation, I'd probably say finesse the shit out of the whole nostalgia, vintage vibe, really sell that, it's got that character, that color, that intangible feeling, which it does, but really sell that, weddings, portraitures, family shoots, all that stuff. Just, you want that vintage, nostalgic home video type vibe, that magical feeling, that intangible. Just use all those words, really sell it to them that way. That's probably how I'd recommend making money with it. Favorite weed strain? Let me clear the air here a little bit. I think people think I'm much more of a stoner than I actually am. I went through a little phase in college, I'm not gonna lie, but pretty much for the past 2 years, I've smoked weed like 3 times, all of which I think I've been on camera for like a skit or something with the videos. So yeah, not super into the weed, to be honest with you, but if I do indulge every once in a while, I gotta go with papaya. What's a thing or two you wish you knew before your first time shooting 4x5? You can't get away with being lazy just because it's 4x5. I figured, holy shit, this negative's absolutely massive. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. I can underexpose, overexpose by a billion stops. No, that's not the case. You still got to be methodical, maybe even more methodical than you do when you're shooting 35 or medium format. It's a time-taking process, and you can't treat it otherwise. What music have you been listening to lately? Honestly, I'm in a bit of a music rut. Can't really find any new stuff that I like. I've just been listening to a lot of Camp, a lot of Man on the Moon 3, Kid Cudi, some Kids See Ghosts, and Macklemore. I think Macklemore is kind of underrated. You should go back. This Unruly Mess I've Made and Gemini are both fantastic. And of course, the stuff with Ryan Lewis is good as well. But really been digging those two recent albums from Macklemore. Do you think using one camera and one lens for a year really helps you learn? I'm a huge proponent for only having one lens on your camera system. I think it forces you to spend more time shooting as opposed to debating on what to shoot. Whenever I have two lenses, I always just spending so much time debating on, oh, should I have shot it with this? Do I need to shoot it with this in order to capture what I want? It's like when you just have one lens, you just, hey, this is going to work with what I got in my hands. I'm going to shoot it. It's so much simpler. It's so much less stressful. And I think that does help you learn. However, I wouldn't say that doing it for an entire year is necessary. I think even just by the outing is good. You know, I might have two lenses for my Pentax, but I only bring one with me whenever I go out and shoot at a time. So if I have a 55mm lens, maybe I'll just bring that on a hike. If I have a 90mm lens, maybe I'll just bring that on a hike one day. I don't think you have to shoot one specific system for an entire year. Pineapple on pizza? Extra pineapple. Do you still have a primary digital stills camera? I do not. All film. Do you think all photos need meaning? Oh, absolutely not. And it annoys me when people think that all photos do need meaning. r/analog on Reddit is notorious for this. The comments, people will leave brutal comments because, you know, you post a picture of something that you had fun taking. It was a fun experience. Maybe it was a picture you took out traveling and you just want to share it with other people to maybe brighten up their day. And here they come in the comments, just rip you apart. Where's the fucking meaning in this? Oh my God, this has no depth. This is just a cliche picture. This is boring. The composite. Dude, life is too fucking short to get worked up about that shit. Like, how uptight do you have to be to shit on other people's work when they're just trying to bring joy to other people's lives? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not some insane photographer. I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I bring a camera with me because it's a fun thing that I like to do. And I like to share with other people. My pictures don't have fucking meaning. Are you kidding me? They're pictures of trees and lakes and shit. If you want to see meaning, go look at like Tyler Shields' work. You know, he's so methodical with what he wants to say with each picture that he takes and what each picture means. But for a lot of people, it's just, hey, I have fun taking pictures. So keep doing it. And fuck anybody who says otherwise. It's fucking ridiculous. How do you balance getting great footage while you get those shots for YouTube? Kind of tough. I think the system that works best for me is when I'm walking around and looking for pictures, I have the picture as the priority in my mind. And once I see something that I want to take a picture of, I'll frame it up. I'll see how I want to compose it. And then I'll go set up my camera accordingly to get the shot of whatever I need to, you know, or whatever footage I need to surround that picture with. But yeah, I walk around, picture priority, and the video comes secondary. Under what circumstances is beer for breakfast an acceptable meal option? I'd say any Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Any of those days, I think, probably an acceptable call. Well, if you cruise through this entire Q&A with me, thank you, and you are appreciated. A reminder, Canon AE-1 giveaway is live on my Instagram. Head over there, like, comment, and you will be entered. Also, August 7th, mark your calendars. We're going hiking, baby. More details to come. Follow me on Instagram. Check the future YouTube videos. I'll have announcements and all that jazz. And then thirdly, my brain dead. Speedy Photo, 10% off discount through August 6th. That information is in the description below. Peace.